Hey everyone, it's Mace1370. It's been a couple weeks since I uploaded a video. I was on vacation in California, but ready to get back into it with a few RTA games on my climb this season. Before we get into it though, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Also, please see the video description below for a link to my Discord. Okie doke, so I've been pre-banning Bellion and FCC again. I've tried a whole bunch of pre-bans this season. This may be where I end up in the last couple weeks, we'll see. I do like having access to the openers, since I can gear all of them with my speed gear, so I think it's wise to leave them open for my account. The opponent here is pre-banned AOL and Huayang, two pretty annoying units to deal with, and then they take Aravi, so that's a little awkward since, you know, this doesn't really give me a solid anchor if I want to cleave. Aravi would be the best one. Huayang can kind of work as an anchor in some cleave setups. They take hand guys, so they kind of want to play a slow game.
Play with me.
I can take Spectre Tenebria here. I think she's good into APOC. We have a Piera, so I think that'll be difficult for them to go aggressive since we have Piera. And then we can take Amelia, because this kind of pinches the opponent a little bit. It gives me two speed openers here, and it's going to force them to play slower than me, but I also have Spectre Tenebria, so I think that puts the opponent in kind of an awkward spot. They could, I guess, opt to go heavy AoE into this to try and punish the Spectre pick, but Pierre gives quite a bit of mitigation, so I think it's a reasonable response to what my opponent did. I do have to be careful about getting landied, because they do have the Mediator, so they can, you know, cleanse away any debuffs and stuff that I put out, and allow Landy to go into stealth. So these are two very interesting picks. Green Armin, have not seen a ton of her on the ladder, have run into her a couple times. It feels like there's some players that just want to play casino units and just see where the dice fall, but I think it's a pretty bad strategy, so if you pick Garmin in this type of situation, you should feel bad for yourself. It's kind of my takeaway from that. Also Acid, kind of weird, but I guess they're trying to do a similar speed pinch to me. They don't want me to take a fast DPS since I have the Amelia there. They want, I guess, to potentially deny me that if they can outspeed the Amelia with their Acid, then it makes it hard for me to take a fast unit, right? And they have the APOC Ravi, so I think Acid is actually kind of a reasonable pick here. He's kind of squishy though, so I feel like he can just be picked around and then killed. So I'm gonna take the Landy. AOL is pre-banned, and if they pick Melamlast or something, I can just ban that out. Not a big deal. And then we take Pillis. I think Pillis is a fine pick here. She provides mitigation. I'm going to leave the Garmin in since I have both Landy cannot be countered and Spectre cannot be countered. That way I'm not going to trigger Garmin very much, but if I do trigger her, like off of, you know, a random dual attack or when my Landy's skill 3 is down, it'll help mitigate, you know, the damage coming out from Garmin. People are building Garmin super slow but actually kind of high damage, so one or two AoEs could hypothetically kill my Spectre Tenebria. And I'm just going to ban out the Fire Mercedes there. She provides, you know, a bunch of AoE reach to knock Landy out of stealth and kill both Landy and Spectre, so she's got to go. Alrighty, so let's see here. We take first turn, outspeeding the Acid. I debate about skill 2ing. I don't think that's the best choice though, because it could trigger a counter from Garmin and that would knock Landy out of stealth, and then Acid could snipe Landy. So instead I'm just going to skill 3 on Piera, and this way Acid has to go into Amelia. But she's fairly tanky and she's behind Escort, right, which is a big Aureus, so don't really have to worry about that. Unfortunately he does not trigger Guardian Ice Crystal. I guess he doesn't do quite enough damage for that, or at least I don't think I saw it proc. And I just want to throw out a big heal here. I already have attack buff from Piera, so the boost is really not as important, to be honest. You know, we can save that for next turn, and I kind of want to just mitigate the damage that Acid put out. I also want to throw barriers up in case I do trigger an AoE. It'll help keep Landy in stealth. So from this position, I think I'm very favored since I have a decent anchor with Amelia. You know, she's fairly tanky and can put out a decent amount of heals, so hopefully we can stay out of S3 range from APOC. And I think now I probably just work to kill the Garmin. Yeah, I'm very paranoid about triggering a counterattack there, since if Landy gets popped out of stealth, that could be game over for me. That would be very bad. Also, Landy does have a skill 3 coming up that's going to be fully empowered because of all those buffs, so we just got to be careful. Here we do have to risk a counter from Elbrus. I don't have a choice. And I guess now we can probably boost up either Spectre or Landy, doesn't matter who. Spectre would give us the most CR benefit and would pump out the most damage overall, so I think we just go with the Spectre.
You cannot change what is already decided.
And he skill 2's there on Amelia to put up shields. This immunity from him is kind of annoying. Ooh, we dual attack there, so that was a little scary since that could have triggered a counter from Garmin. And now we get to skill 3. Okay, so Garmin's gone. We can safely skill 3 with Spectre now and not risk a counter.
If you wish to die.
We can skill 2 with Piera here. This will just get rid of, you know, the buffs that that Mediator Cowrick put up. And I think I misplay here. I go for a Soulburn Stun on Aravi because she's on proof, thinking I can just control her. I should have just probably stealthed. I was afraid that she'd be able to kill Amelia, even with Escort, so I thought this was maybe a safer play, but just getting 15%ed is really bad here. So he is able to finish off Piera, and then he brings back Garmin.
Shield, protect.
Garmin is potentially the better target for me, but that's not good. So now he counters, and this knocks Landy out of stealth. Very awkward. Oh no, she goes back into stealth. Okay, that's good. That would have been pretty triggering. Let's see. I think I'm in a bit of trouble here still, though, because Amelia is getting pretty low. I think I just have to go for the skill 3 on Garmin. Hopefully this stuns. I doubt she's built on ER with all that damage.
I'll end it now.
She does resist, but doesn't die anyways, so not a huge deal. Do we push up Landy or do we push up Stenny? I think we push up Stenny again, just for the same reason she's further behind. And Garmin's gonna die anyways, right? So this gives me the most CR benefit. Alright, so Garmin is dead again, and I think now we're probably okay. Yeah, that's game.
I'm telling you, this is an endless nightmare.
Okay, next game. We're gonna pre-ban FCC and Bellion again. Here the opponent pre-bans Fallen Cecilia and ML Ball. I think those are both interesting pre-bans. FCC pretty standard, but ML Ball is pretty unusual. You don't see many people pre-banning him. And I think I should have paid more attention to the bans in this scenario. I kind of did register like, oh yeah, ML Ball, he's probably trying to cleave me. But I didn't really take that fully into account, I guess. So I think I take Ran here, because Ran is, one, he's good against cleave, right? Because he's fast and can do damage and, you know, kill squishy units. And also you're denying him to the opponent. I don't want the opponent to have both APOC, Ravi, and Ran. Those are pretty dangerous together. So I think splitting them up and denying one to the opponent is a good move. And against a standard player, I will often take Spectre in this spot, and I think she's okay. You know, if they have the A-Ravi, Spectre's good into A-Ravi. My thought here was like, oh, if he flexes into standard, I want to have like an option for that. But I think I could have just taken like another speed unit here, like maybe Amelia or something. And that would have also allowed me to flex into standard if I had to, but it would have given me more of a position that I could have contested speed better, right? Because see, here's the problem. They take 2 speed imprints, both Watcher Shuri and Green Sid. That's a problem because now, no matter what I do, I'm on the back foot. Like, I can't take speed imprints here because I have the Spectre, and she's not really an anchor. I mean, I guess I could just try to contest speed, but it's kind of awkward since they've already taken 2 of them. You know, especially if Sid is fast, it just seems like you're in a disadvantageous spot to do that. With the single target cleave, I've seen people use Flan on the back end of it, so I thought, oh, I could take Politis here and deny the Flan. I think that's also a mistake, so I screwed up a lot in this draft, and I definitely deserve to lose. Politis doesn't really do anything here. And I take BBK. BBK is fine. You know, she's invincible, so they would have to bring some sort of stripper to remove that. And they don't. So in this scenario, BBK is probably a must ban. I think if I had Kairon geared here, I would be fine, because I could just take Kairon, but I think he was actually ungeared. He was missing like a neck or a ring or something, or maybe even a boot. I don't remember. But I was thinking like, oh, I want Kairon, but I can't take him. And then I would have just banned out the Aravi, and I think that would have been a potential solution. I wasn't sure what to take, and I think I'd take AOL here, and that's also a mistake. She doesn't really do a ton. I guess she's nice against Pavel, prevents him from S2ing, but yeah. So I really want to ban the Aravi out, but I don't think I can afford to do that. So I think I have to ban a speed unit. I guess I should have just probably banned Watcher, I don't know. Watcher or Sid, one of the speed imprints. So he has a TML and a Pavel. If the Pavel is 310, then that's potentially even to my Ran, who's 311. The TML would also have to be 300 to be even. So I thought this was okay, since I assumed I was going to outspeed here. Spoiler alert. And look at that. TML outspeeds by 4%, so that's quite a bit. Probably still speed RNG. I don't think there's that many people on the server who could possibly have a 300 TML. 290 TML, by the way, is like 22 average per piece, so 300 is insanely cracked, basically. You need like another 10 speed on some pieces on top of 22 average. That's a lot. You know, that's, I guess, 24 average per piece to get to 300 on DPS gear, no less. So unfortunate. Yeah, so 2 of my units are dead. I can skill 3 here and potentially be okay, because I have a lot of souls. Unfortunately, though, we missed the strip on TML. So yeah, that's pretty problematic. If we had stripped TML's invisibility or stealth, I could have killed her, and then I could have like killed Pavel. I guess I could have potentially killed all of them. I don't know. And stun, but kill at least a few, and then stun a Ravi, and then maybe we have a game. I also should have brought a high damage Spectre. This is Lifesteal Spectre, and so she doesn't have enough damage. So I should, I guess, I should have done that on APOC and then push back with S3 onto the other unit, but I messed up again. I was kind of tilted at this point from getting outsped. So, yep, not good. Oh, and we get counter, resisted and countered. So that's pretty much game. Yeah, because now TML is going to move. Yep, that's game.
Your life ends here.
This game I am against YIFEQ. I don't think I've played this person, at least not recently. The name does not ring a bell. They have pre-banned Piera and Bellion, so between that and then my bans, FCC is also off the table. They take Conqueror Lilius first. I think here it's good to take APOC and Ran, since this puts me in a position where I can cleave or flex into standard depending on what they do. Ran typically going to be faster than Conqueror Lilius, so I can get immunity up to prevent, her attack down if I shift into standard, or just use him as a cleaver if I decide to do that. APOC being a very good anchor. So I think this is an okay response. We'll have to see what he does. If he goes slow, which it looks like he is, so he's taking Eaton, then we can kind of maintain, the speed, first turn thing. He's taken 1 casino unit already, though, and I feel like, you do have the option of just, like, brute force cleaving into this if you want, but if you take 2 dedicated cleave units here, like a Ida Caesarea or just, whatever, I feel like you're gonna inevitably just, like, they're either gonna pick 2 more casino units and you're just gonna hate your life, or they're gonna take, like, a Delabet and, another casino unit or something like that. So I think we can just shift into kind of an aggressive standard type draft. I can take Amelia. She provides, I think, a good amount of insurance against Conqueror Lilius, since, you know, she'll go right after Lilius goes, and then she can either, you know, boost Cleanse or Cleanse Away or just whatever, you know, the attack down to give me the opportunity to, you know, go next. I take Spectre here, who's good into Rem, I think. And now there's a Huayong on the board, which I kind of don't like a Huayong being there. I could have taken Huayong, but I think I want the Spectre, since he doesn't have any reliable reach into Spectre yet, and also Spectre can just, you know, kill the Rem with no cost, essentially, right? You don't have to worry about those pesky counterattacks. And then he takes AOL, so that's very strange. So I can ban out Huayong now, and I just have to fight a solo DPS Rem, which sounds pretty good to me, since most Rems are essentially base speed, and if I can take something here that's a must ban, then I get Spectre into Rem, and that's pretty much got to be an auto win, I think. So we can take Green Violet. As much as I hate this unit, he is a good Rem counter. And then we just ban out the Huayong, because I don't, even if he bans Spectre, I don't think he can kill Violet. Yeah, so he bans out that. So if he does ban out Spectre, Lilius could control Violet. I've seen that happen, but we do have Amelia, so we have a cleanser, right? So we don't have to worry about that. He can't get rid of all of 2 of those 3 units, so we just have a solo Violet. Right, if he bans Amelia, then we have Spectre. So we do get the first turn here. I'm just going to go ahead and put up immunity, since it looks like the Lilius is going before AOL. And let's see, I could either go into Rem or I could go into AOL. It's actually kind of annoying. I guess I go into AOL here. I didn't want to proc a Rem counter and then reduce my immunity by a turn. That would have been bad. And I guess I'm just using up my immunity anyways by boosting Spectre here. It's okay. I just kind of wanted to get some damage onto the Rem. And we can probably just stun her here, honestly. That's a resist, so if this is an ER Rem, then I guess good game. But yeah, I think boosting Spectre and just stunning Rem is fine. This will allow my APOC to hit into the Rem and not worry about a counterattack, so I think this was the right play. He can do things with AOL here, and I guess we can get attacked down now. Yeah, because Amelia gets silenced, so that's kind of annoying. But his DPS is stunned and Omega slow, so we have time to just cycle out of these debuffs, honestly.
If you wish to live, the time has passed.
Yeah, like he can't even kill Ran, so I think we're okay. Yeah, so we just tunnel into Rem now. I think the AOL was a really bad pick there. We had APOC already, and APOC just doesn't really care about AOL so much.
I'll make you taste despair. Focus.
It was also kind of a slow AOL.
Don't come near me.
You know, sometimes people pick AOL as a response to Amelia to try to outspeed and silence her, but it was pretty slow. So we do, unfortunately, proc Demon Mode, because Ran is dead. I was also kind of worried we were going to finish off AOL. We can just boost up our next unit here, which is Aravi. Spectre will not get the turn, and I think we just skill 3, honestly. Just do as much damage as we possibly can to make sure we kill. So we definitely kill. And that's got to be game, because now he has no DPS. Yep, so that's game. Alrighty, this game is against Cash Berry Mary. I have first pick with 2 of the openers pre-banned as well as FCC and Bellion, so we're going to take the 3rd opener, which is Pyrrha. Looks like he's going slow with Hand Guy and Troublemaker Crozet. So here I think Amelia's an easy pick, so we're definitely taking Amelia. And then it's a question of, do we want Spectre, do we want Huayong, do we want Apocalypse Ravi? Huayong has quite a bit of upside, because we could, you know, potentially just jump in and one-shot something. But if he goes AOL, which I feel like he might, given he has Hand Guy, then that could be problematic for us. since Hwion can get shut down by AOL, whereas both Aravi and Spectre cannot be. With the Troublemaker Crozet pick, it looks like he's playing slowly, so I feel like Spectre could be good. Maybe APOC was just better. I don't know. Hard to say. I feel like if you don't take APOC here, then they could potentially take things like Selene and Politis and these other things, and it can get really annoying if you don't have the APOC, because APOC shuts those types of units down. He takes Landy though, so he doesn't go that route. Landy's definitely annoying. We can't really take AOL, right, because he has Handguy. Likewise, if we take another unit like Viseri or Basar, Handguy kind of counters that. And then he takes the APOC. So it looks like he's probably not taking AOL. So I think Milim is okay here. We could boost Milim with Amelia. My Milim, unfortunately, is on pretty substandard gear, though. She's like 250 speed with a little bit of damage and like no bulk. I think ideally, if you were going to draft Milim in this scenario, you should have her at like 270 speed with enough damage to kill a Landy, which is a pretty tall order, but you can definitely do it. Because then even if they ban out Amelia, Milim can naturally outspeed, you know, reveal the Landy and then kill her. I suppose in that case you risk Trozet stunning you, because Landy would probably be in the back, but that's probably a risk you just have to take, and if you get RNG'd, you get RNG'd. Now I take Hwion because I figure Hwion is good into Aravi, but I think a better pick here would have been Summertime Iseria. I think Summertime Iseria would have locked the opponent down pretty well. We could have banned last for sure, and we have either Amelia Milim to definitely take first turn and kill the Landy, or we have Piera Summertime. So we'd get one of those combos through, right? And I think that would be better. I guess he would probably ban the maybe the Milim. We'd have to see what he would. He might last pick differently, and that might change things. But here, I think we just have to ban out the ACID, because otherwise Milim probably dies. I thought he might have banned the Pierre there with the ACID pick, but I guess not. So yeah, we're going to have to deal with the Landy. I guess a third option would have been to take some sort of fast DPS and something that would have gone before Troublemaker, so you could use Piera to reveal the Landy and then kill it that way. That would have been potentially a viable option as well. Alrighty, so I guess I'll probably save the S2 to pop Landy out of stealth on the next cycle. I guess that's assuming he doesn't put up shield from Troublemaker, but
If you're scared,
I'd have to land, you know, the strip in that case. If he doesn't put up shield, then the damage alone will do it. So he gets to skill 3 here.
Let me show you my secret weapon.
But we have 2 fire units, so we're fine, right? Looks like we're fine.
one seems a good match.
So this does boost his team up a bit. So Troublemaker does go before the Landy goes. I was a little afraid he was going to S1 onto Milim and Stunner. He can boost up also, that works. So he has to boost up Aravi. She's the only one that can get a turn. I don't think an S1 kills, but he's going to use S3 here. So this kind of puts him behind on tempo, but Milim does go down. We got lucky in that Landy did not Guiding Light, it looks like. So we can go all in. We can burn here, which I think we have to do for tempo reasons. We have the souls. So definitely burning on Hwion and just flat out kill the Aravi, so that's a proof difference. And now we can go into Landy here. Get counter, but that doesn't matter. And now Spectre will be able to finish it up. I think the fact that we were able to kill APOC there, if that was a proof APOC, this would have been a different game. But yeah, that was a pretty quick game because no proof. Okay, we had a game against someone from the Japanese server. They're in the RTA pool now, so that's exciting. They have a Bellion pre-ban as well, but they also ban out Conquer Lilius. We can take the Pyra. I think it's generally safer to take Pyra than Ran or Conquer if they're all available to you and you have first pick. Simply because Pyra outspeeds Conquer Lilius, right, and puts up unbuffable. So the other reason also is that she can speed contest Ran, and if you first pick Ran, you're kind of committing to cleave, I think, a little early, unless you have a really dedicated, you know, cleave roster and setup and stuff. So he takes Rimuru and Apoc Ravi, which is interesting. Rimru's kind of annoying. We can take Hwyong and Amelia here. This gives us, you know, pseudo turn 1 control since we have both Pyrrha and Amelia, and I think Hwyong is good against both Rimuru and Apoc. Obviously against Apoc, you know, for the big damage, and then Rimuru is grass, and they added that change to Frenzy now where the opposite element does, you know, reduce damage because, you know, the superior element has like inbuilt adamant shield when they're attacked by the weaker element. So then they take Politis and top model Lilica. So here we go again, another top model Lilicleave. I still have PTSD from the last match where I got outsped. Luckily for us though, they kind of started a little bit differently. They kind of have no reach, and they don't have imprints. So they're either stupid fast, or we probably get first turn. So we can take Troublemaker Crozet here. I think he's good. And then honestly probably Spectre, because they have essentially no reach for AoE, right? They just have Politis. So we can just take Spectre. And we'll take the Lifesteal one because she has more bulk than the damage one. Also has immunity, and you know, sometimes immunity doesn't get stripped by Politis, so then you don't have to, you know, worry about those pesky debuffs. Okay, they last pick Landy. Landy is kind of a problem, I think. She CR boosts the whole team, does a lot of damage, reach for Spectre, etc. So we can just ban out the Landy. They ban Pyrrha. Okay, so we have, in this scenario, we have, let's see, Amelia and, yeah, just Amelia as our speed contest against top model. I almost put Hwyong in the back here. I think that would have been a mistake, though. I think you definitely want Amelia in the back. Hwyong has built-in mitigation already, right? She has her own little adamant shield, and then reduced damage from grass units. I forget which is, you know, trumped. But she already has a bit of mitigation in her barrier. And if Amelia can survive, who gets outsped, by the way, again, then I tried to capture the CR. But wasn't able to. So we get outsped, but if Amelia can survive, then we stabilize. They go on Hwyong anyways, though, I guess because of no Trozet mitigation. So that TML is fast, but does like negative damage, so I think we're okay. Rimuru is going to go into Hwyong here. His thing is element neutral. Almost kills, so that's nice that it didn't. I guess that's gear diff. And now I think we just hit S3 on Amelia. Because he's used 2 skill 3s, we just need to stabilize. I've fallen kind of prey to the mistake of not using, you know, your skills and trying to hold for later. If your opponent has used 2 skill 3s, you know, don't be too greedy. Like, sometimes you just need to stabilize, right? So we definitely needed the healing there. So kind of annoying that our Spectre gets blinded and unbuffed. We can cleanse with Troublemaker, and I guess I'm doing that. I think it's probably the right choice. I didn't want my stun to get missed, so I know that this is going to give defense buff and anti-crit to their entire team. I just wanted to make sure I got that stun off, I guess. Like, Rimru's going to analyze here, and that's okay. Yeah, I also thought that this would kill, but I guess I didn't have attack buff. We can probably soul burn with Hwa. No, I guess we save it for Spectre because she's pretty low health. I think that's reasonable. It actually works out okay that we didn't kill here because we haven't empowered Apoc Ravi yet. So we can skill 3 onto Apoc, and this will make her weaker. And we get that barrier again, so APOC probably has to hold her skill 3. I guess she could have just used it to try and get the kill, but then she doesn't get the res later, right? So kind of a trade-off. Our Hua is holding on by a thread here, so pretty fantastic game from Hua. I guess that could have gone into Spectre, that would have been bad. That second splash from TML. Here we just boost up Spectre, and we can finish off Politis, and then I think we just work on APOC. And once APOC is down, I think we're pretty good. We'll send the first one here into APOC in case we get lucky and it splashes into Politis, because we only need one hit to kill Politis, so we can just go into Politis now. You know, ideally this goes into TML, but it doesn't. Our anti-crit is doing work for the opponent. We can Soulburn Trozit here to keep this APOC crowd controlled, though. We don't want to give her the opportunity to put more damage out. Hit Rimuru, because we don't want to CR boost APOC, but Spectre comes along from the right and does that anyways. Not going to complain about a dual attack, though. I will complain about anti-crit. I'm getting very unlucky. I put more premium gear onto Trozit since I've been picking him a lot more. I think it's worth it. You want him to be tanky, right? Because he's got a tank for you while you get attacked by aggro players. Now we can go to TML, finish her off. Rimuru also goes down, and so now it's just APOC. We get the stun, which is nice. I don't think it mattered though. Maybe APOC would have killed, maybe she wouldn't have, but whoever she brings back is not going to be able to get through the rest of our team. So that's all for now. I will post more RTA videos in the future. Thanks for watching. Later.
I'll fight you.